Hello, friends. Welcome back to my channel, Spoken Pronunciation. What if I told you that one man's dreams of greatness led to the deaths of millions and changed the course of history forever? This is the story of Adolf Hitler, a man who rose from obscurity to become one of the most feared and powerful leaders in history. But it's also a story of how unchecked ambition, hatred, and propaganda can lead to unimaginable destruction. So, grab your headphones, sit back, and let's embark on this unforgettable journey through the life of a man who shook the world. Adolf Hitler was born on April 20th, 1889, in the small Austrian town of Braunau am Inn. His father, Alois Hitler, was a strict and authoritarian customs officer who wanted his son to follow in his footsteps and become a civil servant. But young Adolf had other plans. He was a dreamer, a boy who loved to sketch and paint, imagining a future where he would be celebrated as a great artist. Life at home was far from perfect. Alois was a harsh disciplinarian who often clashed with Adolf over his future. "Art is not a real job," Alois would shout, his voice echoing through their modest home. Adolf's mother, Clara, was his only solace. She was a gentle, loving woman who supported her son's dreams, but even she couldn't shield him from his father's wrath. When Adolf was just 13 years old, his father died suddenly. Some thought Adolf would feel free, but instead he felt lost. His grades plummeted, and he began skipping school. Teachers called him lazy, but the truth was, Adolf was heartbroken and directionless. All he wanted was to escape into his art, to create a world where he felt in control. At 18, Adolf moved to Vienna, the cultural heart of Europe. He was determined to become a famous artist, but life in the big city was far from what he had imagined. He applied to the prestigious Academy of Fine Arts, but his dreams were shattered when he was rejected. The school told him, "Your work is not good enough." Adolf was devastated. He tried again the next year, but the result was the same. With no money and no prospects, Adolf's life spiraled downward. He lived in homeless shelters, surviving on meager meals and selling postcards of his paintings to tourists. It was during this time that he began to develop his extreme political views. He spent hours in Vienna's coffee houses, reading newspapers and listening to debates. He became obsessed with the idea of a superior Aryan race and began to blame his failures on others, especially the Jew, who he falsely accused of controlling the art world and the economy. In 1914, World War I broke out, and Adolf saw it as his chance to prove himself. He joined the German army and served as a messenger on the front lines. Despite the horrors of war, Adolf found a sense of purpose. He was brave and even won 2 medals for his courage. But in 1918, Germany lost the war, and Adolf was furious. He believed Germany had been stabbed in the back by its own leaders and by the Jew. This anger became the fuel for his political ambitions. After the war, Adolf returned to a Germany in chaos. The Treaty of Versailles had imposed harsh penalties on the country, leaving its economy in ruins. People were starving, jobs were scarce, and the nation was humiliated. Adolf saw this as his opportunity. He joined a small political group called the German Workers' Party and quickly rose to power. His speeches were filled with passion and hatred, and people listened. He promised to restore Germany's glory and make it a world power again. By 1933, Hitler's Nazi Party had grown into a powerful force. He was appointed Chancellor of Germany, and within months, he turned the country into a dictatorship. He banned all other political parties, controlled the media, and used propaganda to spread his ideas. Joseph Goebbels, Hitler's Minister of Propaganda, played a key role in shaping public opinion. Posters, radio broadcasts, and rallies glorified Hitler as Germany's savior. But Hitler's vision wasn't just about power, it was about hate. He believed in the superiority of the Aryan race and wanted to eliminate anyone who didn't fit his ideal. Jew, Romani people, disabled individuals, and political opponents. This led to the Holocaust, one of the darkest chapters in human history. Millions of innocent people were systematically murdered in concentration camps, their lives reduced to numbers in Hitler's twisted ideology. In 1939, Hitler's invasion of Poland sparked World War II. At first, his armies were unstoppable, sweeping across Europe with terrifying speed. But as the war dragged on, things began to fall apart. By 1944, Allied forces were closing in on Germany from all sides. Cities were bombed, and the people who once called Hitler a hero began to lose hope. Hitler, now a broken man, retreated to his bunker beneath Berlin. He spent his final days surrounded by his most loyal followers, including his girlfriend Eva Braun. On April 30th, 1945, as Soviet troops surrounded the city, Hitler took his own life. His dream of a 1,000-year Reich had lasted just 12 years. Adolf Hitler's story is a chilling reminder of how hatred and ambition can lead to unimaginable destruction. But it's also a story of resilience. After the war, the world came together to rebuild and create a better future. Today, we must remember the lessons of history, to stand against hatred, to value compassion, and to never let such darkness rise again. Thank you so much for watching. Your support means the world to me, and I'm so grateful to have you here. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more tips and stories about learning English, and share it with others. Let's learn from history and work together to create a world where peace and understanding prevail. Don't forget to subscribe for more thought-provoking content. I'll see you in the next video, where we'll dive into even more ways to make learning English fun and effective. See you soon!